Hey, Alyssa here, Swedish Therapy. So, this is why it's important for us to take care of ourselves. And this one is in English. This is my förklaring. Yeah, I'm going to speak English. My explanation of why I think it's important for us to learn how to use some of these tools so that we can give our body a treatment. It keeps us healthy, which helps the people that depend on us stay healthy. So, let's see here. We're going to share the screen. So here we go. This is one of the explanations of why learning your own treatment is a good idea. This artwork was done by Roy Carlson for me. And as you see here, the eyes, well, we know that they transform light into sight, and we react to what we see. We learn by seeing. The ears transform vibration into hearing. We react to what we hear. We learn by hearing. So, movement, sensation, temperature, touch, gestures, how we sit, all of this informs the body. These impressions inform the body of where we sit, how we hold a coffee cup, obviously how we gesture, and these physical impressions are vital to how we feel, and they affect our behavior and our learning. All of this happens under the radar and literally under the skin. Most often without our conscious thought. The soft tissues of the body have very small pressure sensitive sensors that change physical stimuli like push and pull and drag and compression, push, pull, compression, vibration, change all of those physical stimuli into a signal that the body understands that's chemical and electrical. And this reaction creates all sorts of information. So our toolbox is tools that we put in there so we can identify areas that are more stum. And these are the areas that don't talk so much, they don't send clear signals, and these are the areas that are a little bit more rigid, that are supposed to be soft. They're not as elastic. So when we learn to identify these areas, then soft tissues can stay soft, which means what lives in them can stay functional. And over time, this will make a difference. Because small components, just like in the circuit board, small components fire together and they wire together. So small components that wire together, fire together. When they're connected, they activate. When they activate, they connect. And in the same truth, things that do not activate together do not connect together. So we see from a group in Spain in 2019 in the Journal of Anatomy that our bodies, unlike a circuit board that stays a circuit board, our bodies break down and reform all on its own. And the problem seems to be decline of tactile stimulation of these sensory, pressure sensitive sensors is associated with aging and changes in the skin, both of the central nervous system, the brain and the spine, and the peripheral nervous system, the arms and the legs, and anything outside of the brain and the spine. Now, these changes that happen in anything outside of the spine that is sensory, we don't know how they happen, but the changes in pressure sensors remains unknown, and they decline with age. So when small components break down, all sorts of changes happen in the body because our collagenous extracellular matrix, everything outside of the cell and inside the cell, the fluid and the fibers, they all change. And this is what gives strength and stability to our very own skin. So as this group from Cold Springs Harbor discusses, which is a think tank in the United States and Long Island, but also with a campus in China, they're doing a lot of good research regarding tumors, cancer, biology. They say in their paper that age-related alterations in the skin lead to age-related fragility and diseases. So the skin and the cell function in there affects wound repair and our pigment and our nerve innervation and our immune function and blood vessels and even the fat that is under the skin. So this collagenous extracellular matrix, it's not all collagen, but there is something in the collagen called a fibroblast cell that makes hyaluronan, which is a substance that gives stability called Turgid pressure to the cartilage, brusque in postsvenska, and also the eyeballs. So the eyeballs and the cartilage have their shape due to this pressure. So if we look at a plant, if the pressure is just right and their Turgid pressure is just right, then that affects the cell wall's plasticity. So it's very upright. It has a firm form. It's adaptable. And just like an ecosystem, if the ecosystem is functional and healthy, then the things that live in it are functional and healthy. That's true of nature. And it's also true of nature that when something is not healthy, it's not flowing, it doesn't have small things activating it. These small parts give a health to the whole. Because as we notice here, an ice jam in Lake Erie created a problem with this large source of power. So if we have low pressure, pressure changes how fluid flows. It's more of a wilted plant, which is not as healthy for the things that live inside the plant. It doesn't have the same amount of power or stability. So then we go back to the soft tissues of the body that have small pressure sensors that change physical stimulus into the signal that the body understands, like chemical and electrical. And all of this reaction creates information. And the pressure that happened in my hands with my injury, that pressure also changed how the sensors were behaving. And I could not grip, and I could not close my hand, and I had pain. So moving fluid with pressure is a very good idea, because just like in this bläckfisk, which is an octopus in Swedish, this small fish that lives in the big ocean, its health is very important to the health of the ocean. And its soft tissue is very important to the way it makes decisions. In this particular example, this octopus is trying to open up a jar because maybe in the past he's opened up a jar that had something yummy inside of it. And the small pressure sensors that he uses on his soft tissue give him information, give his body information about movement, about taste, about sight, even his color changing abilities, his learning process, and his behavior. So consider an octopus, a Blackfisk, their arms an extension of their brain, and they change their behavior according to pain or in light of pain, which I did as well. I hope, when we learn our own behanling, our own treatment, we can connect to the nervous system that has these small sensors. They can activate because they connect. And our structure takes time to reform, to break down, and to build up. So keep soft tissue soft, because the more small streams going into one makes a bigger amount of information, a flow, the just right flow. So I appreciate your attention. I know that was a lot to take in, but I think it's really important for us to stay healthy and everything that's underneath our skin. Tack så mycket. Oh, thank you. Hej då.